What are we waiting on? Wait a goddamn minute. That's sick. Can you play PS2 games on a PS4 if you insert the PS2 disc? Nah, PS4 and PS5, they're not backwards compatible. PS3 isn't backwards compatible. Only the first generation of PS3s were backwards compatible. PlayStation 2s could play PlayStation 1 discs. So I believe PlayStation 2s were backwards compatible. But since then, they're... Oh my god, I remember that scene. Oh my god. So yeah, no, unfortunately, no, you can't. I'm on a PlayStation 3 right now, but it's my brother's, my older brother, the video game collector fella, who he got this right when it came out, the PlayStation 3, right? So it's first generation, and so that's why I gotta borrow it, because I also have a PlayStation downstairs, PlayStation 3, but it's not the first gen, so it's no good. I gotta take the dogs out, actually. So I'm gonna leave this kind of beginning scene up while I go do that. Be right back.
They're called the Brotherhood. They have been our sworn enemies for as long as I can remember. Led by a madman who was once my closest friend. But now, a new evil has surfaced. One with powers beyond comprehension. And those we have battled against for so long will become something we never imagined. Our allies. The apocalypse has begun. They're called the Brotherhood. They have been our sworn enemies for as long as I can remember. Led by a madman who was once my closest friend. But now, a new evil has surfaced.
Have a seat, fellas.
One with powers beyond
Yeah.
comprehension. Those we have battled against.
And to make things more complicated, for capturing this game in the video and whatever, is that the video capture card that I have, it won't capture protected content, and a lot of like PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5, you can go into the options and turn off the protection, right? PlayStation 3 didn't have the option to ever do that, so in order to actually capture this, I'm using this splitter, this video splitter that strips the protection. And so I have this extra thing connected to this extra thing, connected to this and that. It's just a mess. It's a damn mess. This looks great. All right, here. Should we check out options first? Do they have a difficulty in this one? Doesn't look like they do. Ugh, doesn't look like they do. Why does it say review? Review what? Oh, unlocks and stuff. This is what I missed, right? I remember that. Ultimate Spider-Man came out around the same time, and so they were promoting it as well. Nope. Nick Fury's in it? It is Ultimate X-Men, so that is what Nick Fury looks like in the Ultimate Universe. Oh, it looks like they have Electro, Rhino, obviously Venom. They've already shown that a few times. Mary Jane. Oh, you can be Venom or Spider-Man? That's crazy. I see. That's pretty cool. I'd just still be Spidey. Okay, let's start the game. That was just kind of neat. X-Men Legends 2. See Wolverine, Colossus, Nightcrawler, Magneto, Mystique, Toad. Yep. Oh, there is a difficulty. We'll play normal. I think I played the shit out of this game.
Go. Amuse yourselves.
That's so cool. He's still up there, yikes.
Nice trick. What do you do for an encore?
I like the outfits and the looks for these characters a lot more than the first one. That was the moment to be like, wait, what? What's going on here? That's right, everyone. In X-Men Legends 2, you get to control both X-Men and the Brotherhood. Former enemies now working together. Common threat. Gotta do what it takes. Save Xavier? What happened? How did they take him? But I gotta assume this is sometime after the events. Not too long.
Polaris.
Oh.
Polaris, she's been abducted.
Magneto's daughter.
Charles, it appears we both have a grievance with Apocalypse.
So it all starts with Polaris being what, Apocalypse's first Convert.
Nightcrawler, we've located the professor. It's okay to teleport in.
Will do.
Get him to the X-Jet, Nightcrawler. We'll meet you there.
As you wish.
Yeah, this one I think they introduced that outline for the characters, so the characters pop a little bit more and more comic booky.
All right, let's go.
Yeah, the way that he looks, the way they look in this is much better. Haha, they have us have Magneto. That's sick. That's where they came from. This is where freaking X-Men came from in the cutscene. Sabretooth and Mystique, it looks like we're cut off. You two have to find another way out. Let's rendezvous back to the X-Jet. It's us and Magneto. Now it's time to strike. I knew things were going to smoothly.
Let's keep moving.
Leave all current hero settings alone. Yes, distribute equipment automatically. Yes, please. Oh, man. Do everything automatically in these games for me, please. I do not care about the specifics. Just, you know, the characters are going to level up to those certain points anyways, eventually. Yeah. Nope, we're going the right way. My bad.
Yes.
Very clean. The upgrade, the
My target's dead.
cleanup in the way that the moves look.
This one's too strong. I need help.
It looks like they moved the camera back slightly more.
Attack my target.
Characters are a little bit smaller.
Close ranks. Attack my target. Attack my target.
Right.
Everyone form up on me. I need some help with this one.
Alter genetics. Also, when the enemies die in this one, they just kind of fade out real quick and then die. As opposed to before, they would die and then it would take a moment for them to keel over. And that in itself was really annoying because they would block certain shit. Pew! Pew! Oh my, the right analog gives us the maps. Updates it. I wonder if that's what did the last one as well. I wish the game would, this one would have recognized the save from the first one, and then maybe, I don't know, gave us outfits, characters. Oh shit, I just realized I do have a cheat code to unlock all of the outfits for the characters. So, maybe not today, but tomorrow when we play this, I'll try to remember to put that in when we log in and see what we got. But we'll just, we'll play with what they give us right now.
This one's too strong. I need help. Everyone form up on me.
I love that. And if you notice, you don't. All right, so in this one they added combos. They added your powers to combos. See that? Pew. That's not me actually doing it. That's XX circle, right? So automatically spend stats and skill points. Yes, do it all.
This one's too strong. I need help. Attack my
Why should never have to level up? They should do it for me. That is a nicer screen too to kind of organize. What other differences are we experiencing here? Ooh, team management, look at that. A blink portal down. So it's cool that we got blink. She can get us in and out of spots. Auto map. Oh, players. My goodness, you could play with people online, I believe. Someone mentioned that the other day, and also to be able to play with this with 2 players. Very cool, very cool. Team management. I can't imagine. Yeah, we can't switch out while we're. Well, we don't have anyone else yet, anyways. I think that's the correct way. There's something over here.
Keep back. This one's mine.
Sometimes you find a way around obstacles, explore the area, and look for a way to get past the guns without destroying them. Look at your auto map. I think that's them telling us, okay, well, instead of going that way, you could always just kind of go around here and avoid them entirely. Come on. There we go.
This one's too strong. I need help.
Whoa.
Close ranks. I'm in trouble here. Was that your best shot? Attack my target. I need some help with this one.
To the X jet? Oh, we can leave? What the fuck? That's awesome. I don't understand why they would allow us to... Maybe... I don't think we have to go out there. Oh, we are leaving here. Duh. Oh. That's the whole point. Never mind. Lol. I was thinking we had to get past the turrets to go in a room over there. And to keep progressing through. I forgot. Oh, yeah, we're leaving. We need to get to the X jet. We've already got Xavier.
Greetings. This location is known as the Sanctuary, a retreat of Magneto's. It will serve as our base of operations while we're here on the island of Genosha.
Cool. So yeah, Genosha's in this one.
Several days ago, Apocalypse attacked the city of Genosha. Magneto and several of his people were able to escape, but the rest of the populace was trapped. After helping to rescue me, Magneto requested the X-Men's aid in freeing Genosha. I could hardly refuse.
Is this a really good idea, having that?
Far too strong for either team to battle alone. I realize this is a stressful situation, but remember, thousands of lives are depending on us. We must learn to work together.
How do we find out about missions and get
Talking
briefings?
to people around camp will activate your objectives. To receive briefings, activate the mission computer here to my side. Right now, you should speak with Sabretooth. He requires aid in finding a mutant he had helped escape from Genosha. Good luck to you.
Press choose the objectives tab to look at the status of your objectives. You will find Sabretooth by following the yellow exclamation point on the map. I see. First, let's talk to
It's good to see you. I trust we're finding common ground with the Brotherhood.
I'm not quite sure about that, Professor Xavier. The Brotherhood members can be a little difficult to deal with. How did Apocalypse take
I
the
had
prisoner?
received a communique from Dr. Moira McTaggart requesting Polaris and I meet her in Madrid. Only too late did I come to find out it was a trap.
Any idea why Apocalypse wanted you?
His primary target was Polaris. I was merely an afterthought.
Why would Apocalypse kidnap
I
Polaris?
don't know, but he was adamant that she not be harmed. I'm almost certain she's in no immediate danger.
Oh, Jesus, why were you being tortured?
Apocalypse was determined to obtain information on Cerebro and the Xavier protocols, two areas I am particularly secretive about.
Aren't the Xavier protocols a list of all mutants in the world?
Yes, and with it, Apocalypse would know every mutant's strengths and weaknesses.
And their location.
Indeed. And that is perhaps the most sensitive information of all.
Who is
He was
Apocalypse?
born over 5,000 years ago in Egypt and is considered by many to be the first mutant ever born.
He's 5,000 years old? That's incredible.
Apocalypse could very well be immortal. He's a metamorph, capable of turning his body into a variety of weapons. But what's most dangerous is his ideology. Survival of the fittest. Apocalypse believes the strong should destroy the weak. This, he feels, would create a powerful civilization worthy of him to rule over.
Why are the Brotherhood and X-Men working together? This is great. As we go through this conversation, each time the conversation's... like, each time each, like, point is finished, it moves us down to the next one, so we don't have to do it. We don't have to remember. Well, what was the last one we just asked? All these little details, but they're improvements from the previous.
Magneto asked for the X-Men's assistance. He feels Apocalypse is too powerful for the Brotherhood to defeat alone.
Isn't there someone else Magneto can go
Perhaps,
for help?
but none he could depend on in the heat of battle. You see, even though we differ in ideology, Magneto knows he can trust my word, and I know that I can trust his.
Thank you, Professor.
Quite welcome.
Computer. It's a hero stash. Nothing. Do we even have a team to change yet? Can we get Magneto off the team, please? Oh my, yes we can. Right from the get-go? Jesus, they give you a lot of people. Do you even have to unlock anyone? Jeez. Sunfire, interesting. Scarlet Witch, very cool. Very cool. Scarlet Witch is in this. Very cool. That's the thing is that's another that this also reminds me. Reminds me of another detail on the Doctor Strange movie. When Xavier is reaching for Wanda and I don't know. I feel like it was a different situation. No, maybe not because she was buried because of the explosion. I'm just curious if if the Marvel Cinematic Universe introduces X-Men into it and makes the X-Men like a big part of it all and stuff. They're going to have Magneto, right? Magneto is always a big part of X-Men universe, and in doing so, they're going to have to acknowledge that Magneto is the father of Scarlet Witch. And I just don't think I don't know if the Marvel Cinematic Universe is going to do that because Scarlet Witch is there's so much that I don't know. There's just kind of already so much story that they've already told of hers. It would just be kind of weird to be like, oh, and that's not exactly how it is. Those were your adopted parents, kind of thing. Ooh, though we have Bishop, but why is he white?
Bishop.
Oh, he's not. He's not. Good. Why is the picture of that man white? Yeah, that was weird. The picture of that was weird. Oh, okay, because if you guys remember, which is really cool that Bishop is in this, because in just a few days ago, X-Men Legends 1, when we were playing it, there was a little kid on the street that we went to during the Sentinel attack on the city, and that little kid said, "Hey, someday I'm gonna grow up and become an X-Men," and that little boy's name was Bishop. Yes. So very cool.
Gambit. Rogue. Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, they ever look great, but we're not gonna rock Scarlet. Wanda. How does Iceman look in this?
Iceman.
I'm glad that they took his headband off, but yeah.
Colossus. Jean Grey.
Oh, I like how they have Jean look in this. A lot more classic Jean, as opposed to modern.
Nightcrawler.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I definitely love the alternate stuff. Oh my god, they already gave us some outfits. Oh, get the fuck out of here. Yes, please. That's the bishop I want. That's the bishop I want. Remy doesn't have any. Do I have to do this on the... He says that we have to do it at the main menu. Move them out.
Okay.
Does Bishop look like that even if we have the other
As you wish.
skin on?
Right.
Look at how they have Gambit's head. Look, that's funny. You guys can barely see it because the couch, but that's funny. Beast. Beast isn't
Salutations,
playable
my
in this
friend.
one.
It's most agreeable to see you.
Hi, Beast. Good to see you too. I like to see some equipment. Just kidding. I am done looking at equipment.
Greetings again, my friend.
Are you the person to see we see more equipment?
Indeed I am. Through me, you will be able to buy and sell all manner of devices that will aid you in your missions. I can acquire potions that will replenish...
You're smartest
You have
X-Men, aren't you?
certain penchant for learning, but I don't
Penchant.
know if I could really lay claim
Penchant.
to that title.
But that's why you're in charge of equipment, isn't it?
Charles gave me these responsibilities because I have a knack for dealing with technical issues. But there are several other X-Men who could do that job as well, if not better than I. Forge is the first one who comes to mind.
That's a good point. Forge should be in charge of the equipment.
Homing beacons are extremely valuable. I can use them to locate an important individual that Apocalypse is holding prisoner. But I require several of them to pinpoint the location. I don't know, but from what I've heard, this person would be of immense aid to us.
Thanks for the info,
Anytime, my
Beast.
good friend.
Oh my god, and then look how Nightcrawler moves in this one. That's so good. That's so good.
You bet.
Danger room computer. Oh, it's another one where we'd have to, like, go through it. We might want to do these little by little instead of wait until the last minute. Yeah, I'll be with Bishop. I don't care.
I've been looking forward to this.
The training course is activated. Begin. Superb.
Almost got that one with that one. Gross.
An excellent job. You have completed all course objectives.
We have to find the other stuff, of course. Hey Tess, sorry I didn't see. How you doing? How's it going? How's it going? That was an easy challenge. Let's talk to Sabretooth and see what he wants us to do now. There's someone that we're supposed to save. They give us so many characters to start this one with. Yet, oh, what's this? Ultimate Iceman? Oh, it's because we saw. Oh, as we see the loading screens, they like it saves, and we get to review it. Let's get a save going. Oh, that sounds very good. I do like lemon. Nice citrus little. That's refreshing. That sounds really refreshing. Is Sabretooth over here? Oh yeah, it is.
Never thought I'd see the day the Brotherhood be working alongside you.
Oh, cool. Cool. Did you make a lady or a guy? Join this. Much use it.
Listen, much as I hate it.
Yeah, and how far are you into it? I feel like I got off the first island, or no, I did on an original playthrough, and then I restarted it up, and I'm still not done with the first island.
A bunch of guards.
I feel like I'm done with I feel like I'm just ready to move out from the first island, the first starting area, but like there's still some stuff to explore, so I kind of want to do that before moseying. Yeah, no, I mean, yeah. Assassin's Creed's games are fun. They're great. They're great. In the new way that they've been, like, ever since I said X-Men Origins, ever since Assassin's Creed Origins with Bayek and stuff, like, they revamped the combat style, and it's a lot more, they're fun. They're great. I don't know what made me stop playing, though. I don't know. Maybe I'll eventually get back to it. I think I was just tired of traveling so far and climbing so far, and then it's so much travel. And for me, I feel like I have to get and collect everything. Can't show me something on a map and be like, "Yo, there's a treasure over here, but don't worry about it. You don't have to get it." It's like, no, I do have to go get it. Just give me a minute. And so it takes so long. And yeah, maybe I just wasn't ready for another big investment like that. 12 hours ago, I went to Genosha to rescue a kid named Blink. Oh my God, Blink! She's in this. Of course, Blink's in it because she does one of the things in the option menu mentioned Blink's portals. But one thing led to another, and we wound up fighting a bunch of guards. You've never been known for working quietly.
Shut your yap or I'll...
It's funny. I'm in England, and I do like to go and collect everything that's for sure. Oh, see, yeah.
Link was going to teleport us to the dead zone.
So you've already made it a little bit. You've already played a little bit. That's cool.
I wound up having to slug.
Yeah. Did you make it?
Alone.
Did you make a guy or a girl? I know there's like an additional, like a DLC expansion that's coming for it. It's coming crazy. Oh, nice. Very cool. Very cool. Why did you try to rescue Blink?
What are you talking about? Maybe it ain't. But
What's your okay? Well, now I question you. What's your weapon of choice? How do you like to fight with the character? When it comes to like, because they give you so many cool weapons in the game, right? There's a lot of options. You really get to play the way you want to play. Yes, and when it comes to the Vikings, to me, I think Berserker, like, maybe I mean, you can do shield, shield and sword, sure, I guess, but like dual wielding 2 axes seems pretty cool. How did Blink wind up in the dead zone?
When I was trying to get her out of Genosha, a bunch of Apocalypse's guards jumped us.
That's when Blink tried to teleport you to the dead zone?
Yeah, but she got clobbered by a guard. Next thing I know,
2 axes, very cool, and heavy bow fighting. Yeah, you lost sneaking and assassinating. Yeah. That sounds very. It sounds like you've adapted into the Viking role. Do you have a lot of tattoos? Do you got some tattoos on your lady?
Let me tell you, the guard that hit Blink ain't ever gonna draw.
I don't know if I always, when I think of the guys, I think of a bunch of tattoos, but when I think of Viking women, I don't think of tattoos. So, oh, you're covered. That's funny. Yeah, the freaking death machine. When did you first meet Blink?
I found her a couple of years back at some mutant testing facility. I was doing some recon work for Magneto. Poor kid.
Yeah,
was
I
in
know,
cell.
man. I really should play that game and actually play through it because I really enjoyed Odyssey. I mean, I've enjoyed all of the Assassin's Creeds. Don't get me wrong. I love Greek mythology, so I really, really enjoyed Odyssey, and this is coming off of Odyssey, and it's just like I don't know, it's not going to be as enjoyable for me. But Odyssey had some really great outfits. Like in Odyssey, when you got far enough to compete in the Olympics and stuff, and the wrestling, you literally just were wearing a diaper, like a wrap, and you would be all oiled up for the wrestling, and so you could continue the rest of the game just dressed like that. This is fantastic. A lot of fun stuff, and all of the side things, man. You can get some really cool weapons and equipment. Oh, that's dope. That's dope. No, dude, they have some really cool stuff like DLC that you can buy for those.
She was a defenseless kid. Didn't have no one to help her. Now shut up about it. You're giving me a headache.
Yeah, Odyssey was something else, but that's because I love Greek mythology.
Magneto and Apocalypse had their last big
And I gotta be okay. So I want to spoil a little bit. Playing Odyssey, I thought one of the greatest things about Assassin's Creed Odyssey is that they don't let you down when it comes to like if you're in an Odyssey. Okay, the Iliad, Homer, Jason in the whole Odyssey and everything, right? Or is Jason the Argonauts with that? Or regardless, the different creatures that they experienced in his journey, all these different monsters and this and that dangers that have gone down in Greek mythology. To have a Greek mythology game and not have those monsters would be blasphemous, right? It would be so lame. And I honestly, as I was playing through it, I thought there's not going to be any magical creatures in this game. I'm not gonna run into I don't know, Minotaur or this or that. I gotta say, they not only, I don't know if they have everything, but there are there's a lot of, I remember there being multiple Cyclops that you had to deal with, which was interesting. But they have like these main bosses. There's some part of the game where there's these 4 bosses, and all 4 of the bosses are like iconic, like Greek mythology stuff, and it was just the coolest thing. It's a great game. Not to mention, like, it goes like there's a bunch of DLC with it I didn't even touch, and that stuff gets even more into the more mythological stuff as opposed to like legit history.
Even though Magneto's aircraft
Oh yeah, okay. So yeah, there is like Unicorn Mount and stuff. But I mean like straight up in the game. Like you don't
sides.
I'm trying to think of all the different stuff. But yeah, no. They have a lot of really fun little add-on things that make it all good. I remember for the Origins one and that takes place in Egypt. That one, I literally was riding around on a chocobo, I believe, or something like that, because they did a deal with Final Fantasy with that one, and so it was so strange. But there was some sort of mission that you could get. I don't know if I got a chocobo or what, but there was some sort of weird Final Fantasy thing. Assassin's Creed is great. Ubisoft is great. Yeah, but then again, when it comes to weaponry, there's always really dope weapons you can get later in the game, and those always are very customizable and fun to play with. But yeah. Odyssey was something else when it came to like monsters, legit monsters. You go to the labyrinth. You see the Minotaur, or you fight the Minotaur. I don't know if I'm trying to remember if there was the Sphinx. The Sphinx would be Egyptian, right? No, maybe the Sphinx was in Origins. Maybe that's why I'm like, oh shit, like that was something. Yeah. Assassin's Creed, they give you stuff. So when it comes, and that's why it makes sense with this whole Valhalla one. That's why it makes sense with Odin and all of the gods being a part of it, and like I imagine you're gonna have to face some magical creatures in the game. I don't know it, so I can't spoil it for you or anything, but like my guess is that you're gonna have to,
Cut it out, you two. Let
I
the
don't know,
professor
face
talk.
some sort
Let's
of,
get one thing straight, Boy Scout. I don't take orders from you.
yeah, some sort of shit.
It's just like I told you, Psych. Juggernaut ain't housebroken yet.
Gentlemen, please.
That's only for play. No, man.
Who's blamed?
It depends on the game.
She's a very
It depends on the game, right?
mutant with the ability to
Or
teleport.
I have a girl. I have a girl for Valhalla as well. I started it with the guy, and then I had the old beard and stuff. But sometimes it's just like, you know, it's fun to mix it up.
Sure leaves the elf in the dust.
Did you say Blink might be hurt?
Yes, she was injured while attempting to teleport out of
Odyssey is played.
That is why a team
Odyssey,
of
they
you
do a
is
really good
needed
job with
to
both
begin
like
searching
male or
for
female,
treasure
because
for
there's a
this young
it's a
warrior.
story of brother and
Good luck
sister,
to you.
and depending on who you are, it basically determines who's the good sibling and who's the bad sibling. And so, like, that's what's really cool about Odyssey is if you choose to be Cassandra, then it's cool. It's a great story either way. I chose to be the guy. I forget his name, but no, it was great because they include both versions, no matter what in the whole story. You still get both of them. Whereas I don't know if that's the case with some of these with Origins. Like, I don't remember the female being being a part of the game, the female option, or even with this Vikings one. It seems like it's the same person. You just don't know if it's male or female. And that's what makes Odyssey different, is that it's like it's not the same person that's male or female. You're choosing to be the brother and sister. It's weird. It's cool. It's weird. It's cool. To the dead zone we go then.
Will do.
Will do. Are they experiences? I mean, you can, because it is definitely gonna be a different experience. Like I said, with Odyssey, because you're gonna the main villain, or I should say main villain. It's not really a villain, just someone you have to deal with throughout the game. You know, that stuff is that is a different experience, right? But I would be curious of how different it is in Valhalla. Just because it's like the same character, but you're male or female, and I don't know. I don't know how big of a role, especially because it seems like I think with Valhalla, you're allowed to change at like any moment, right? You're allowed to change genders whenever you want, which is kind of weird. I mean, it's fine, but for like storytelling, it's just kind of weird that you're allowed to do it. Although the way that like they explain it and the animus and all this and that, they make it so it's not the craziest thing in the world. But yeah. According to Sabretooth, this is the site of the last large battle for Genosha. It was almost entirely fought with airships. When it looked as though he wasn't going to win, Apocalypse detonated an EMP bomb that crashed both fleets. What a dick. Somewhere in this mess is a wounded young mutant named Blink. We have to find her. Oh no, we don't have anyone that... Oopsie, I didn't bring... we don't have X-Men with us. I mean, we don't have Iceman or Storm. We're just gonna have to run through, guys. Buck up. Oh my god. Alright, well they went somewhere else, and I don't like that. If you let the animus choose the owner, you be Lady Ivar, and change to male at certain points, and apparently if it gives you a fuller play. No shit. That doesn't make sense to me, though. Why would they want you to change genders to get a fuller playthrough? Why would they want you to change genders? I understand, like, I guess, like, what you're bringing up is that at certain points, being the male Ivar is, somehow gives you extra content, whether it be cutscenes or something. But yet the game, if you let the game decide, they'll say, hey, go lady. Yeah, and that's weird to me. If I'm playing a story, I don't want to change genders midway. That totally takes you out of the whole story and stuff. Especially if it's a lady. for the lady to do the shit that the kid has to go through even at the beginning of the game and stuff. It's a little bit kind of more intense to hear that's a little girl that survived everything. Like, that's a badass little girl. But yeah, I think the Valhalla one probably is cooler with a girl. If I ever get back to it, that's what I'll do. I get more game, I know, right? That's fun. No flipping way. Alright, well, apparently, whoopity-doo, I'm an idiot. Let's go back. We gotta have someone in our crew that can make bridges and put stuff out. Thanks. Like in Syndicate where you have Evie or Jacob, I liked Syndicate. It wasn't, and I know that one was probably maybe considered one of the worst ones, but I loved the environment for Syndicate, and I loved the underground fighting was the coolest thing, even though like it was pretty repetitive. I chose to be Evie, and then I had to be Jacob for some missions. I hated it. That's funny. Yeah, that one was interesting because it's like you're playing. It's like the story of both, like them together, and I thought that was kind of cool. I think when they do the brother-sister dynamic, it is kind of cool. They did that with that one with Syndicate, and then they also did it with the Odyssey. Even though you're not playing both at the same time, like Syndicate. It's just that they're both involved in the story. Just hated needing to be in. Let's take out...
Iceman.
Stay frosty, team.
Iceman will be able to put out the fire, and he'll be able to create that ice bridge that we need to get across. Oh, I wonder if Magneto could probably create bridges. Yep. I bet he would do. Yeah, that would be cool. And fuck it. Let's get that quick save again. You know what's really cool about the Valhalla one, and I never really got to experience it to the max, but you get a camp, right? And you get to build up the camp, and the camp grows, right? Like that whole dynamic when it comes to like a base, like a home base that you are at throughout the game, and it changes throughout the game, is really good when it comes to storytelling. I love it. I love it. That one newer Pokemon game did that, and it was such a cool thing to kind of see things change and grow, like in the background, in a sense.
Get this Joker away from me!
Yes.
Yeah, base building's great. And that's also another reason why, at least in Valhalla, you gotta get everything. You know, you see something on the map, go get it, because there's gonna be plenty of stuff you'll need to upgrade that base. Shit, that's Blink, and they're just taking her away. Those bugs, that would be terrifying. Can you guys imagine waking up and being dragged away by a giant bug like that? Like, no thank you. I would be pretty certain that, like, my insides would have been, like, I don't know, I'm pretty sure that they would have, like, had their way with me, and somehow some bugs were gonna burst out of my stomach or my insides or some shit. That'd be terrifying. Yeah, that would be the scariest thing. So let's hope Blink just kind of stays knocked out until we get there.
Hey, I need help with this one.
Oh my god, look, you saw Gambit's card flying around, right? That was so very, very cool. Uh-huh.
I'm liking this.
Although, how does he throw it? Oh no, that's good. He's throwing it like that. It kind of looked like he was like bursting, like, here's a card. And like, well, that's fucking weird. 52 pickup. Cheesy. Blink, the character in the game, is being dragged. She's knocked out right now, but like she's being dragged by these giant bugs that I'm killing. Like, I don't know, back to their home or whatever. Back to the queen maybe. But just imagine waking up and being dragged by a giant bug like that, looking up, and oh my god, that would just be the most terrifying thing. That must be Blink. She must be unconscious. We'll have to work fast if we're going to save her from those animals. Those animals? Yeah. Oh, the combos. Didn't even think about it. Here she is. We saved her. Oh no. Yes, I'm with the X-Men. Can't you tell with our outfit?
What are they doing here?
It's a long story. For right now, let's just be happy we found you. Are you alright?
My head's a little sore, but I'll be fine.
Thor. She said Thor. This one has some great outfits, guys. This one has, by this one I mean X-Men Legends 2. We just finished X-Men Legends 1 like an hour and a half ago. Or like an hour ago. Why are you in the dead zone?
Mr. Creed snuck into Genosha to rescue
Sabretooth.
me. But one thing led to another, and we were surrounded by guards. Just as I was about to teleport us to safety, I was hit on the head.
But yeah, the uniforms are one thing that this one really improved on in the previous one. Sure, in a flashback, they gave you some cool outfits, like 90s outfits. That was like one of the best parts of the game. Most of the game you have to play with like the lame ass black 2000s ultimate universe shit. I bring that up because you unlock outfits after you beat the game in the first one, and so it's like, what's the point of these outfits? I've already beat the game. What am I going to use them for? I guess you could use them in the danger room. But this one, you start the game, and right from the get-go, Rogue had an alternate outfit, and these aren't just little changes to their attire. It changed their appearance completely. Bishop, with normal Bishop in this, they have him bald, and then they also have his 90s fucking dreadlock Bishop. How cool is that? Very, very cool.
Gosh, I didn't even think about that. Is Mr. Creed okay?
Yeah, he's fine. It'd take more than a couple dozen guards to slow Sabretooth down. Yeah, I'm like, is Sabretooth okay? Yeah. If Wolverine hasn't been able to deal with him all these years, I'm pretty sure Sabretooth can survive quite a bit.
That's a snap. I just need to wait a little bit for my head to clear.
Good. Both the X-Men and the Brotherhood have set up camp there.
They're working together? Wow. Apocalypse must be really
We're saving
powerful,
Blink,
and I need
but
one
I don't
to
believe we get to
X-Men's
use
help.
Blink. She's not really a combatant. Not so much as a fighter. She's more support. I'm sure she can fight, but yeah.
You bet.
You did an exemplary job of rescuing Blink. Your next objective is to locate
The title is Retro,
to Genosha.
and in the title it already says that we're playing X-Men Legends 2 in its day one. Ha-cha-cha. But hey, Melty, how's it going, buddy?
Say, if you're looking to get to the next island, you're gonna need my help. Let me create 2 portals to get you there.
2
It's
portals?
no trouble. Tell you what, I'll even port the entire team to camp and back whenever you want.
Oh, it's like a
Sure.
midway thing.
It's my mutant ability.
That's cool.
Why not use it to help defeat Apocalypse?
You better help us. We need the help. We need the help. Cool portal. Just cheesing. Press to choose to use the Blink portal tab. Blink will create a portal back to the main base. You can use these to go back and forth between the current level and the main base. However, you must wait 5 minutes before the Blink portal option is active again. You're telling me at any point during the game, you can stop where you are, take a portal back, and then when you are done, you can portal right back to where you were in the level? Is what that's the impression I'm getting. Normally you use a portal and go back to base, you're gonna have to start back over.
I've just detected that someone's activated the Genoshan automated defensive system. Reconnaissance drones are going to be painting moving targets for tactical missile strikes. So if you see a beam of light, keep away from it.
I didn't know Forge was also in this. That's cool. Any idea how the system was turned on?
It had to have been deliberate. Someone reset the communication dish for the system.
Because there's a lot of people that are not in this one. That were in the first one. I shouldn't say they're not in it. They are in it, but I guess they're not playable. Forge is never playable. So if we can find the communication dish, we can deactivate the defensive system.
Yes,
He's a bad leg.
keep an eye out for it. A piece of equipment like that shouldn't be hard to find.
Extraction points provide you and your team a way to regroup and save your progress. You will find these throughout areas. But what is it to extract? What does it mean to extract? Is there going to be a... Oh shit, is there going to be a... Oh my goodness, that was huge. Boom. Can I not fly with Rogue? Get the fuck out of here. Who do you think you are? Oh, maybe I just didn't take that ability from someone, I guess. No, I thought she could fly normally. Oh, I thought that was like a... one of the things that, like, she took the ability, but then it, like, stuck with her. Back to Gambit, then. Sure, no, it would be a Bishop. Does Bishop have his gun? That's the answer to that. Oh, that's another thing. The save game. That was much faster. Damn. Let's take all the money and run. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I get sleepy, man. I understand the sleepy. You should take a nap, Melty. What time is it? Are you home from work yet?
This is some real power.
Is the day just dragging on? No. No, yesterday I had the headache. No, today I don't have a headache today. Not today. But it's looks like it's starting to get warmer again. Not so hot though, it looks pretty breezy. Because the heat can make me feel kind of sick sometimes. That'll give me a headache. Sometimes, but no, yesterday was just one of those headaches. I don't know where they come from. Professor Xavier, what are these creatures? They can't be indigenous to this island.
According to Sabretooth, they're called Cerces.
Ooh, shit, 82's high, man. 82's high, we're at 75 right now. Ooh. That's a bad taste in my mouth. 82's getting too high, man. Tell it to turn around. Tell it to start. Say, stop. Go away. Go away, heat. Not today. I was promised rain. Where's my fucking rain? I like how Bishop is a playable character in this one. Oh shit, did she just do a bunch of kisses? A bunch of hearts? Oh, I love it. There's Rogue. That was Rogue. He can't fly too. I'm missing something here. The Circe didn't waste any time making themselves at home. The tunnel is huge, and these bugs must like shiny objects. They've dragged in parts of a fallen airship. I gotta say, I remember being able to... I think we're gonna learn how to do that. Notice, see, when I double tap triangle, he should be sliding, but instead he puts his arm up like that. Same with Rogue. She should be flying right here. I wonder if we're gonna somehow unlock the ability to do that kind of stuff, which seems like something that we should have just been able to do from the start. Sometimes you need to break through things to get through the way. I believe you, but instead let's grab that item real quick. Got it. Yeah, tell me about it. You know what it is, though, Melty, is that this is the second one. This is the second one. And you know what's kind of fun? And we're not... I mean, it's still PlayStation 2. Yeah. Yeah. Still PlayStation 2. It's just that they really made major improvements from X-Men Legends from the first one. Yeah, as we just got through that. This one, the characters have an outline that makes them pop a little bit more... I don't know. It's good. It's good. It works. This one, it offers outfits. This one just has so many little things, especially even when it comes to dialogue and stuff. And what you're pointing out is, yeah, the music's a lot better. We're not going to have to worry so much about combo and other such things. I'm sure there'll be a lot of annoying stuff. There might still be combo, but I don't know. Looks like we're in luck. Console works. This is only a part of the code. The computer must have been damaged by Apocalypse EMP blast. We're going to have to find a computer that has the rest of the code. But, alright, the biggest difference in this one is that you're not really playing a true to... Alright, X-Men Legends 2 goes down as the better of the two, right? But X-Men Legends 1 is more X-Men. Because that's what you are. You're all the X-Men and you're facing the Brotherhood. This one, it's X-Men and Brotherhood and you're facing Apocalypse. So your team, half of the X-Men have been eliminated and Brotherhood have taken the place. And so Adam, Grumpy, someone made the comment that in the second one you don't really have that group dynamic as... It's not as strong in the second one as it is in the first, and he's absolutely right. Unless you put the groups the way you want, but you don't have as many options. You don't have as many good combos. But it is pretty fun to play as some Brotherhood characters. So, yeah, number 2, major improvement in many different ways. They didn't have one. They didn't have one. That would be really cool, though. Instead, we're going to play the Wolverine. We're going to play the Wolverine game, which is PlayStation 3.
Defender 12, this is Defender 2. I've got a bogey on my way. I just need a second to get into position.
Squawk Box.
He's got missile lock. He's firing. I repeat, the bogey
is... Cheesy. I don't have that, and like I said, I saw clips of it, and the game looked horrible. It looked bad. You know, it's not... Okay, so a game that I want to get my hands on and play, and because the emulators are never top tier, they never work. They're never good. I've attempted 3 or 4 different GoldenEye emulators and none of them have worked. So I don't have GoldenEye, right? I don't have GoldenEye, but I do, because I noticed that Jared had a couple different like James Bond games for the PlayStation 2, and so I was like, oh, okay. So I got a couple like 007 games. So I don't know. I don't know if we play one of those. I also have some racing games that I wanted to play. I thought we would do like a little career with Dub Edition. And then again, I have those old PlayStation 1 Japanese RPGs that I am probably most excited for, but I might play those by myself. No, I'll probably play them on stream. I don't know what we're going to do, because that takes a lot. Hey, Adam. How's it going? He did not have the Hobbit test. He has all 3 of the Lord of the Rings movie games, but he didn't have the Hobbit. And here we go. Is that a fact there, Melty? Is that a fact? 51 playable. Boy, that sounds like a game that I want to get my hands on.
I need more power to do that.
Get together, team.
Maybe we wait closer to when I have when I guess it's like on the docket test, if you're interested. If you definitely say, hey, we should play that, and because I'm on board with it. Like I said, it's Lord of the Rings, and I love that stuff. I always find it a little bit if I'm okay, so I'm gonna be honest up front. I always find it a little weird when I love, you know, it's great for you guys to give me money because I need the money, so love it. I do find it a little bit weird situation when you guys give me money specifically for a game, because you know, in the past I've done that, and then the person like they don't hang out for the game, and then like I play it when they're not around, and it's just like, okay, well, I mean, thanks, and it was great and all, but then it's just like, yeah, so I don't want to be like, yo, you know, be here for this, play for that, but yeah, so this is the way I was thinking. If we want to go, like, you say, hey, you should get this game, let me help you get it, maybe we can go halvesies with it, especially with something so cheap. We could always, like, I don't know, I feel like, because that way, I don't know. I kind of feel bad taking money and then not playing the game for the person because that person wasn't around during that time, or they were busy, or it just wasn't good timing, or this or that. Yeah. But don't let that mean like I'm totally down to play the game. I'm a thousand times down. I'm so down to play it that like I already was thinking about it, and if we did play The Hobbit, I think I would want to grab those other 3 Lord of the Rings games, and we just play through all of it. Play through The Hobbit, get that story real quick, and then we do the movie ones. Even though I don't know how that's a lot. It's just like that's a lot of content. That's going to be a long time. There's a lot of things on the docket that I'm interested in, so I don't know what to do. But it's more so just what I feel like at the time. Being flying press twice movie. Right now we're on this Marvel kick, and I kind of plan to be playing Wolverine right after this. And then I most likely was going to go to Marvel Ultimate Alliance, but not sure. We might do something in between before we go to that. But yeah. Lord of the Rings Conquest, was that? What's Lord of the Rings Conquest? Because that sounds familiar to me.
Sure thing.
Okay.
Homing beacon. That's one of the 4 needed. I'm going to tell you it right now, guys. There's a special character you can unlock in this game by finding all 4 homing beacons in the 4 chapters. That character is the most famous of all mutants, Iron Man. No, he's not a mutant, right? But you get Iron Man. You do get Iron Man in the game. You can play with Iron Man. He's an unlockable character. We could do a cheat code to get him. But, you know, I thought that was funny. Yes, it was. You know, you absolutely got it right, Adam. It was a giant sentinel that was being controlled by General Kincaid himself. And dude, it was tough. It was tough. It was tough. They give you, if you guys don't remember, at the very end of X-Men Legends 1, they give you a save spot in the boss fight. Like, during the big boss, the last boss fight. Because not only, probably because it's so hard, but also because it's the final moment, right? It's the big end of the game, and whenever it comes to any X-Men related anything, there's so many, right? There's so many X-Men, there's big team, everybody contributes. They always have those big moments of, like, just so much shit going on, everyone participating in the fight, right? So in X-Men Legends 1, you're only able to be 4 people at a time. However, I think we're supposed to imagine in that final fight, everyone contributes. And everyone did contribute, because like almost everyone was dead on the reserves. The people that were still alive had very little health. And then when I did defeat him, I saved multiple times throughout the fight, and then when we did defeat him, it was a very close call. Very close call. But we got him with the... I think Storm had some health, and so when I brought her in, she had some mana, and I did a few freaking lightning bolts, and defeated the bastard with lightning bolts. Another fun fact about X-Men Legends 1 is that in the final fight, if you die, you get a bad ending. And the meteor crashes down on New York City. You see the Statue of Liberty get fucked up, and you fail. And so I thought that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool to have a bad ending. But yeah, we reloaded and got the good ending. Wait, what are you talking about, Moti? You're telling me you weren't joking around? That whole time I thought you were joking around because there was none. There was actually supposed to be one in 2013. Well, damn them. Are you... I was not a joker. So you're saying they actually plan to have 51 playable characters? That sounds ridiculous. Maybe that's why it didn't work out. It's because they set their fucking goals too high. Well, I guess that isn't so crazy, right? How many playable characters are in the Ultimate Alliance games? I guess that's a good point. There's a lot of them in the Ultimate Alliance. It's just, and if it was 2013, it would be more on during the technological advances of those games. So yeah, okay, I guess that could make sense. That would have been crazy. They would have had literally like every X-Men and some. If anything, it probably would have involved more Marvel characters. There's just too many. Mr. Sinister was going to be the baddie. That's so dope. That's pretty cool. Maybe, I wonder if they tease that at the end of this one. Yeah, I shouldn't say like they probably... in the simplest sense of just showing Mr. Sinister at the end of this one, I wonder if they do that. At the end of X-Men Legends 1, guys, like right when you finish the game, right when you finish the last boss, and before the final like news broadcast, Apocalypse pops on the screen and says, "I'll see you guys soon," or whatever. It's like, oh shit, they were already setting up number 2. Very cool. X-Men Alliance had that and spanned the whole Marvel universe. See, yeah, that's a good point. Adam, that's a good point. That didn't even have that many. Oh, it was going to be called Legacy? Involve the Hellfire Club? What?
I'd have brought me a tent if I'd have known I was gonna be camping out like this.
Yeah, that would be so many. That would have been super duper cool. I'm looking at the roster now. They're totally, they write about this like it happened. You're right, Melty. Like this part during the roster. Once they have completed the tutorial mission, they can freely swap between these 4 and 12 additional characters. Like, no? Oh, wait, no, they're talking about X-Men Legends 2. Yeah, no, that's correct. Oh, sorry, they're talking about X-Men Legends 2. Never mind. Although, I don't think we can be Pyro right now. I think that's actually incorrect. And I don't think Mystique is available right away. You're able to... I don't know if Sabretooth's available right away. You can be Scarlet Witch, you can be Toad, and maybe Avalanche is there. I'd have to check that. Yeah, it kind of does look like they just kind of ran with the Ultimate Alliance instead.
Ain't this rich? The X-Men and the Brotherhood working together. I feel so warm and
Yikes.
happy. I just might start singing. I was sent to track down escaped Genosan prisoners. Looks like I got lucky and found you bunch of meatballs. Well, yeah, the hours are good, the pay is great, and I get to do what I love best, cause some serious damage. Now, I've been tailing you for a while, and I just gotta ask, why are you looking for computer nodes?
Don't need to know.
Yeah, I do. So I'm gonna go find me one of them gizmos.
Okay, so offer up license for a good X-Men game. Oh yeah, shit, that's a good point. I think they will. I think we can expect a decent X-Men game to come in the future.
They're so much fun, they'll leave you in stitches.
What they need to do is do a... Oh my god, see, they could totally easily... So you know how I was talking so much yesterday about Guardians of the Galaxy? That game, if they did like an X-Men game similar to that, but instead just kind of allow you to trade out, because even in Guardians of the Galaxy you were working with a group of 4. Well, Groot and Rocket are the same person, so they're always together, right? They're a duo. They count as one. And so yeah, you're dealing with... Wait, no, am I? No. You got Peter. Yeah. So you're dealing with 4, and it could be kind of a similar way, just with much better graphics, and then throughout the story you can kind of... It's just that I feel like with an X-Men game, I want it to be more action adventure, linear, kind of like the Guardians game I was mentioning. That was long and it had lots of story, and it was very satisfying. Destiny was... Destiny screwed the X-Men. Destiny had a bad reception, I remember. I never played it. I kind of always wanted to, but I do remember that everyone was like, "Yo, it wasn't good." It got really bad ratings. It apparently was not good.
Okay.
That looked like that was a lot easier to get that combo.
I need help with this one. You bet. Hey, I need help with this one.
Y'all shouldn't have gone messing with Gambit.
I think I'm going backwards. I feel like this path is actually just... Oh no, here we go. We got treasure. Secrets. Weapon cache. Storm bracers. That's cool. Oh yeah, and Melty, you bring up a good point with Xavier being... Yeah, absolutely. I'm very hopeful because of those appearances. Very hopeful. And you know what would be so cool is that if Patrick Stewart... Like, they need to kick it into gear with some more X-Men movies. And then that way Patrick Stewart can just continue to be Xavier. We'll just jump back forward into the future and stop dealing with children for X-Men. With this whole, like... Sorry, all of them just look so young. The most recent X-Men movies and everything. I'm okay with having adult X-Men again. Not like we actually really ever had them to begin with. Even in the first... Nah, there was a few more adults in the first movie. Or the first movies. Amazing to survive the crash. What do you mean? Oh, we had to pick up computer. It has information. Only piece. We had to find all the pieces. This console looks to be intact. I'll see if I can get the rest of the security code from it. This console is damaged 2. We got a little more, but still not complete code. We're gonna have to find a third console. Okay. This way. Oh, he's looking rough in the show up card? Damn. Damn, that's not good. My friend rented it from the library, Destiny, when it came out, weirdly enough. From the library? I used to, when I was a kid, I used to rent, like, movies and cassette tapes, CDs, and books from the library. I've never rented a video game from the library. That's awesome. And I think it returned it 2 days because he was not a fan. Yeah. I know, and that's crazy because it's X-Men, and I feel like, dude, X-Men's great. Everyone loves it. They really must have really screwed it up in some way. I never played it, so I don't know. I just know the reception. I just don't know if we're ever gonna find a better, like, instead of Patrick Stewart, I don't know if we can have a better Charles Xavier. I don't think they exist. I think he is Charles. Like, Patrick Stewart is Charles Xavier. Like, I don't know.
Hey, isn't this one of them computer things you've been looking for? Hope you don't mind, but I've been wanting one too. So I guess I'll just take it.
It's repetitive, Grumpy? Is that what it is then? Maybe that's because, like I said, I haven't played it, so I don't know. But if it was like super repetitive, then maybe that's why people were just turned off pretty quick.
Leave that computer node alone, or you're gonna find out what it really means to be chillin'.
I didn't know there were ex-kids. You're a cute little fella. What are you gonna be when you grow up?
Oh yeah, good one, Grizzly. But shouldn't you be rummaging through garbage cans and begging for food scraps at the campgrounds?
If we were someone other than Iceman right now, would he be talking to Iceman, or would he be talking to someone else?
You're that smart aleck, Bobby Drake.
Yeah, it's probably strictly. Maybe it's just coincidence he's in our group.
Are you even old enough to drive?
Yes, I'm old enough to drive. I've had a license for... Shut up, Grizzly. Just shut up and hand over that computer node.
Oh, it's real. I'm going to see someone couldn't. No flipping way. Yeah, Adam, no way. He just, like I said, he's just so perfect for the role. McAvoy's, I guess, fine, but if we're gonna put those two together, it's not much of a competition.
You're 2 seconds away from becoming the furriest icicle in the world, and you aren't leaving here with that computer node.
Wrong, Bobby. I am leaving. But since you look a little cold, I'm gonna crank up the heat. See you later, sucker.
Yeah, James McAvoy, he's a great actor. I have no problem with McAvoy, but like I said, in comparison to Patrick Stewart for Charles Xavier, he's like, I don't even think it's a contest. Not to say that he did a bad job in the role. He did a totally fine job in the role. Just like I said, Patrick Stewart is Charles Xavier for me. At least for me. Look at that. Yeah. It probably doesn't help that like he's the voice of Xavier through these games, and with all of the movies in 2000s and growing up, it's just like, I don't know, everything is, yeah. He's the guy. We'll work with 4. That's it.
To all Genoshan Defense Forces, this is Magneto. This is no time to panic. Remember
Okay.
your training. All of Genosha is depending
I
upon
was mistaken on the Wolverine game you were gonna play next. Why? What is that, Adam? What one? What are you thinking? What do you think is the mistake?
Now form up in your flight groups and attack as one. Together, we will win this battle.
Which Wolverine game were you thinking about? I guess is probably what. Totes grumpy. Like they didn't do it good in either. I don't think they had 2 attempts at the Phoenix storyline, and it's just whatever. What ruined the movies for me so much on these newer ones is Jennifer Lawrence. Okay, cool. Hunger Games was great, but why does the success of an actress or someone for a completely different movie in role, just a completely different thing, why does that have to somehow influence to have such a drastic dude for the X-Men to be led by Mystique like that? Sorry, it's gonna have to. And just for everyone to be like they just care so much, and I hated it. I hated it. Wolverine's Revenge. Wolverine's Revenge. Let me look to see what Wolverine's Revenge is. Ah, I guess it is different. Oh, X2, so it came out with X2, released as X2 Orange Ranger. Oh, there's a few of them I didn't know. I don't think I played that one. Although I gotta be honest, if it's about Wolverine, it probably just tells the same Weapon X story. I'm sure they fit it in there. But no, this is the what we were playing. The one from the X-Men Origins movie, the Wolverine one. Wait, what? Mark Hamill is the voice of Wolverine in that one? You guys see that? For Wolverine's Revenge, the motherfucking Joker, Luke motherfucking Skywalker, is Wolverine. I want to hear him. I don't know. I bet he did a great job. But isn't that bonkers? That's great. That's really cool. That's really cool. Yes. I had a feeling you'd do it. I had a feeling you wouldn't let me down. Yeah, it's all Weapon X. All the footage that they're showing right now for the game for Wolverine's Revenge is Weapon X story. Dude, it's the most. Don't get me wrong, I love Wolverine, guys. Sure, Wolverine's great, but boy, I am tired of this Weapon X storyline.
Somehow, when I joined the X-Men, I didn't think I'd spend this much time doing nothing.
I don't think it's good. I don't think the voice acting is good. Oh my god, I don't think he was a good choice for Wolverine. Oh man. Dude, that was great. You're mid-match? What are you playing right now? Are you still playing that, the space shooter, you playing Halo? I know it's not Halo, I just don't know. I forget the... Why do I think cycle? I'm thinking the word cycle, but I don't know if that's correct. But that was very funny. It does not sound like Mark Hamill is the guy you want to voice Wolverine. Oh, you're playing Cursed. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. Frontier? Is Frontier really? Okay. I mean, I know you wouldn't steer me wrong. I was way off. Oh, it is Cycle. Oh, I was right. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Cycle Frontier. Okay. 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 Okay.
Stay near. Take down my target. You bomb up on me.
I'm pretty sure in the X-Men Origins game, we also deal with Weapon X storyline. Like I said, I think anything that involves Wolverine seems to shine a light on the Weapon X situation. What's also interesting is, yeah, even in the X-Men Legends 1, we had a flashback and did that. I don't know if we do. I doubt we do another flashback. Why? Remind you to tell me your rank on Cursed? Are you high ranked? You got the skills to, I guess, headshot guys? This is very true. It's like you can't tell the story without talking about where he came from, right? Why is this person so grumpy? Well, he was kind of tortured and experimented on for many, for a while in a very cold, desolate place up in Canada.
I kind of wanted you to. I was hoping we might have
Or, well, his parents died in front of him. That's why he's so grumpy. Depends on who we're talking about.
You must be feeling mighty brave to be ordering me around. Tell you what, why don't you come over here and try to take it from me?
What's Apocalypse doing in Genosha?
The real question is, what ain't he doing? He and Sinister are having a good old time there.
Jesus. Mr. Sinister is with Apocalypse?
Oh, yeah. Didn't you know? He's one of Apocalypse's horsemen.
That's not good. What's a horseman of Apocalypse?
They're Apocalypse's lieutenants.
Oh.
They do the grunt work so the big guy can concentrate on his master plan.
I love how he's just totally breaking it down for us. Just so we all know we're all on the same page of what's going on in the story. He's going to break it down some more. How many horsemen are there?
4.
Well, there's 4. Funny you should ask.
They're the baddest of the bad.
Okay. Why are you with Apocalypse?
You mean why did I switch sides?
Yeah, you used to be a good guy, Grizzly.
I got tired of playing by the rules.
Yeah,
Like
fuck
that
the rules.
More about good guys not going on killing sprees.
It's go time, Grizzly.
This is gonna be fun.
Oh, that's okay. That's our cue. He keeps evading my bullets.
Sure thing.
I need more power to do that.
Hey, she's got them all charmed. What is that one? Hello. Yeah. Ain't got the energy for that. Shit. You don't have to tell me that, Rogue. Thanks. I'm calling for assists from anyone. You got the power, you don't got the power. I don't care. Just help me or don't help me. You don't got to tell me. Hey, alright. Grizzly ain't nothing but a little bitch. That should teach Grizzly not to take things that don't belong to him. Now let's pick that computer node he dropped and see if it contains the security code we need. Hopefully this one will have the rest of the Genosha security codes in it. Professor Xavier, we did it! We have the entire security code to Genosha.
Return with it to the sanctuary at your earliest convenience. Angel arrived a
Angel.
short time ago, and he has some interesting news on how that code can be put to use.
Cool. Cool. Is Angel a playable character in this one? I don't remember. I gotta believe that we're gonna unlock more characters. I know that there's unlockable characters. I know that for sure. But when you look, like, they give you a lot of playable characters right from the get-go. And I'm just curious of who do we unlock as we play through. I know it's gonna be someone. Don't tell me. I just know. I just have a feeling we'll uncanny gear. Love it. We'll find something. Where am I going? Oh, yeah, that would have been cool. You know what would have been cool, Adam, and it would have been so easy to do, right? So, because, I mean, don't we go to Sinister's lab anyways? Aren't in the game? Don't we go there and do we have to face him? Do we have to face Archangel? Because I just feel like in that moment when we go to the lab and take on Sinister and all that whatnot, I feel like that could be a perfect time to be like, hey, at the end of it, you recruited this character to help. I don't know, you saved him or whatever. I don't know. Because I mean, when it comes to the history of X-Men, isn't it Mr. Sinister that makes Angel Archangel, not Apocalypse? Like they in the movies, this more recent ones or whatever, it wasn't they had Apocalypse just kind of like change him. Yeah. But yeah, the newer I need a revamp when it comes to X-Men movies. I'm such a fan of like video games and cartoons and this and that of comics. I can't say I was like I really liked the movies growing up, but now I'm not so much a fan. I just see so many bad choices and actors are just I don't know, dropping the ball. Things aren't great. Storyline changes, things just being lame. And with this newest one, with all of the young fellas, all of the young X-Men, it wasn't my favorite. It was cool to see. It's still cool. Any X-Men movie is cool. But the way they had Mystique in this newest one was to me unforgivable. It just made it all just so flippin' weird. At what point did Mystique get to have sex with Azazel to make Nightcrawler? But Nightcrawler was in the movie. I just hated how they did everything to do with the Jennifer Lawrence character. It's like, Jesus. It was Apocalypse in the cartoon. Oh, really? But I can't remember who exactly did in the comics. I want to say that it was Mr. Sinister, but that is interesting that it was Apocalypse in the cartoon, because he's one of the Horsemen in the cartoon, isn't he? Is he one of the Horsemen in this one? In the cartoon, they also get, well, in this, the first one to Apocalypse gets is Polaris, but in the cartoon I remember being Mystique, right? Mystique's never been good. Comics, yeah. Oh yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I hate what they did with Mystique. It's just so stupid. And then to have like Charles and her having this such a bond, and they just care so much for each other, and all these tearjerker moments of someone's feelings being hurt or this or that. Bro, I've hated what they did with that, and I don't know where I'm going now. I'm lost. Oh my goodness, I'm allowed to just go back to base, aren't I? We can use the blink portal. Maybe not. What are they talking about? We did do these ones. Maybe not. We'll go back in this area. Or this has just opened up because this was not available before. I tried to walk over it and it wasn't there. We had to go a different route. Oh, Comics Apocalypse as well? Really? Well, alright then. I thought he was one of the many the ones experimented on by Mr. Sinister. And Mr. Melty, thank you for hanging out for a minute. Catch you next time. I'm sure I'll be on tomorrow. We're gonna play some more of this. Look at the number of Cersei drones. Didn't Professor Xavier say they'd overrun the entire island of Genosha in a matter of weeks? We should get rid of them. That should slow the spread of the Cersei hive. Just fucking blast them all. They're all bundled up right here. Too bad we don't have 52 pickup. 482 in the world? No shit, man. How? How do you... What? How can you... Whoopsie, I shouldn't be blowing this up. How can you have such a high ranking... But you're not on it all the time, right? Oh my gosh, that's incredible, dude. Is it because of, like, your kill-death ratio and stuff? I guess you don't have to hold your spot per se. Just people have to. It's just based on your record, huh? That's incredible, Melty. You're clearly incredibly good at that game. I'm sure there's probably, I don't know, 100,000 play it. I don't know. Even if it was 1,000 people to be in the top 500, I'm not sure how they calculated 100,000 players roughly. See, there you go. Yeah, I got like 300. Dude, bro, that's incredible. 100,000 people and you're up. Oh my god. And that's because you just don't die. You're just too good. You're too much of a hotshot. Good shit though, man.